Hello friends, so today we're going to discuss the problem D from latest AdCoder Beginner Contest 175 problem name moving pieces. So let's begin. Takahashi will play a game using a piece on an array of squares numbered from 1 till n. So there are like 1 till n numbers. There are actually n squares. The ith square has an integer ci written on it, which is a permutation of 1 till n. Okay, so actually you have n squares, and in which like in n squares there will be a number written on it, which is actually a permutation of 1 to n. Okay, so now what you will do, he will choose one square and place the piece on that square. Then what he will do, he will move the following move some number of times between 1 till k inclusive. So now he can like put a piece on one of the squares, and then he will move k times, or like between 1 and k he can move any number of times. And how he can move? In one move, if the piece is on square I, now he will move to the square pi, which means that pi is the position on that square. So like if it is on like this, now it will move to second square. Now it is on this, so it will move to fourth square. So if it on 1, it will move to 1 square. And after for every move, his score increased by CPI, and for every position you have a CPI also, CI written on it. So as you can see, for this position there is C of 3, for this position there is score like C of 4, and so on. So for every jump, as you can see, you can jump from one position to the next position on the index which is given on the current position, and for every jump you have to increment your score. So you have to find out the maximum possible score at the end of this game, and you can do this hopping or jumping between 1 and k. So you can do at most k times, or at least one time. Okay, so as you can see, n is up to 5000 only. So from this, I always encourage my members or subscribers to see what n is given. So as you can see, in this n is up to 5000, so you can do it in O of n square also. Okay, like you can see that you can make your constraints, or you can make your solution up to of O of n square, should not be more than that. Okay, k is very large. Okay, and then pn also given, and ci is can be negative and positive. Okay, now as you can see, the input is n and k. K is the number of hops like you can do, and this is the permutation, because it is a 5, and so there's a permutation of 1 till 5, and then there's a ci, which will denotes that if you do a jump from this position to the next position, what will be the score you will increment it by. So as you can see in this, if you start at this position, so let's draw this example. I've drawn this here. So this is example. So now I have actually drawn this according to zeroth indexing, because in this it is an indexing of 1. Okay, so now I have done this with zero indexing, which means I have subtracted every position by like -1. So it is like 1, 3, 4, 0, and so on. So now it is zero indexing. So now let's assume that you are at this position now. So now at this position, you can go to the next position, which is 1, because this is zero indexing, then this is 1. So like from you there, you can go to this position. From this position you can go to this position, and from this position you can go to this position. Okay, for this, like this third, like 0, 1, 2, for 2th index you can go to the 4th index, because this is 4. So means from this position you have to go to the 4th index, and this from this you can go to this. So actually, as you can see, these are forming cycles. So this is the first thing you can see when you draw this out. So these are forming cycles, and for every jump I have written down the score. So for this jump you will increment your score by 4, for this jump you will increment your score by -8, and so on. Okay, so now if you know the cycles, you can easily find out like what is the jumps, or what is the total score incremented. Okay, so now the second observation can be, so let's assume that you have to know that if you do a consecutive jumps of size k or less, so what will be the increment will be. Okay, so now for fast sum, what will you do? You will do prefix sums. So you have to see that what is your requirement and what you want. So for fast sum of a range, you will do prefix. So now our second thing can be, can we make a prefix sums of this cycle? Yes, we can. So what we can do here is, to find out the cycles, you can make a visited array. Okay, start from the first position and make a cycle. If you return to the same position again after iterating, then the cycle will complete. And for every position, you will mark out the sum of that cycle. So let's assume that we start from the first index. We are doing some iteration. We start from the first index and then we jump to the, because from this I will jump to this index, from this I will jump to this index, and from this I will jump to the starting index. So my loop will complete. So it will tell us that I have completed my loop, and after completing my loop, for every position I will see that score and made a prefix sum. So for this I'm starting at this, so the prefix sum will be 3. Then I will go to this, so my prefix sum will increment by this 4 position, 4, so it will become like 7. And then I will go from this to this, so now my prefix sum will increment by -8, it will become -1. So this is the prefix sum for the first cycle if I start for this, from this position. Now as you can see, now if I start at this position, so how much time we will need to make this? For every position we will do some iteration. So for every position which is like O of n, we are doing some iteration and making this prefix array. So it is like we can jump at most n positions. So it can be like 1, 2, 3, 4, which means I have to go to 1, then I go to 2, then I go this, and then I can return to this. Okay, so it can be like 0. So it can be, so the maximum can be, I have iterated over all the numbers, and thus for every number I have to make this prefix array like n times, so it is O of n square. Okay, so now I have prepared my prefix array or prefix sums, which will tell us that if I start from this position and I will iterate over like this, complete this whole cycle, this is the complete cycle starting from this position, and I will do it for every position. If I start from this position, now my cycle will be like this, this and this. Okay, so I can add, because the size of n is small, I can make prefix sums for starting at every position. So this is the prefix sum starting at this, so it will be like 4, because if we take this at the start, it will be 4. Then I will do this jump, which is incremented by -8, so 4 minus 8, it is -4, and it is again incremented by 3, so -4 plus 3 is equal to -1. Okay, so that's, you understand that how I'm making this prefix sums for every starting position. Okay, so now let's assume that we have formed a cycle which is telling us the prefix sums, and now we have to do some key jumps. So now I have to do some key hoppings. So now this is the prefix sums. I have to choose some key such that I will like this is the total cycle sum. Okay, so now let's assume that k is equal to 100. Now if k is equal to 100, I will definitely know that I can, because I know the cycle size. Cycle size is 3. I can know the cycle size from the size of this prefix sum which I formed. So the size of this prefix is 3, so I can tell that the cycle size is 3. And if this k is greater than the cycle size, I can know that I have to iterate, like I can go through this whole cycle again and again and again. Okay, so now for every cycle, for every complete cycle, the total increment in my total sum will be, because like see, last number will tell us the prefix sum for the whole cycle, as you can see. So now if I iterated over the whole cycle once, then my total sum will increase by -1. Then if I again iterate over the whole cycle, my total sum will increase by -2, and so on. So as you can see, last number will tell us how much increment I will have if I iterate over the whole cycle again and again and again. Okay, so now, like, is it beneficial to increment my total size with -1? No, because I can do total steps from 1 till k. I don't have to do all the key steps. Now I can do small steps also. So is it beneficial to just do 7? Just start at this starting point, which is 3, and then go to the second point, which is 4, and then the total will become 7. So it is beneficial now. So that's what we can do. So what we can see here is, there are some cases. If k is small enough, so let's assume that k is equal to 1 only. K is equal to 1, which means that if I start at any position, because for every position, we know that the cycle size is 3 and k is equal to 1, which means that I can do only one jump starting at this position. So if k is less than the cycle size, what we can do, we can iterate over the starting point till k positions and check that what is the maximum among all. Why? Because let's assume that I will do only a jump of 1 or 2 or 3. Okay, so if I do a jump of 2 and that's the maximum I can get, that's the maximum, the global maximum, then I will take that now, because I can adjust my key such that I can only do 2 Ks. I can just do 2 hops, or like I can do 5 hops, and so on. So I can adjust my k and I will see what is the global maximum. Okay, that's the first case. The first case is k is less than the cycle size. Then I will iterate over all the k and see that what is the maximum among all. Okay, now if k is greater than the cycle size, so like as you can see, the cycle size of this is 3 and k is equal to 100. So now I can, like, I am assured that I can complete a whole cycle. Okay, so now there can also be a case that the whole cycle size or the whole prefix, like increment of this whole prefix, or like if I iterate over the whole cycle, my total sum will be -1, which means that if I go over the cycle 100 times, my total will become -100. I hope you understand. So it is not beneficial to make our total equal to -100, as you know. So which means that I can also just check out the back element of this prefix, which will tell us the increment for this whole cycle. If it is negative, I don't want to iterate over the whole cycle. Okay, but now as you can see, if iterating over the whole cycle will reach out to a prefix sum which is like 10, or like if we iterate over the whole cycle, our prefix sum will increment by 10 or our total sum will increment by 10. So I will iterate over the whole cycle again and again so that my total sum will increase. So there are two cases. The first case can be, I will iterate, so let's assume that there are k is equal to 100 and cycle size is 3. And so if I divide 100 by 3, what will I get? I will get 33.3 or like 33.99 plus 1, which means that I can do over the whole cycle 33 times and then also I have one remainder left. So now I have one case. One case is I will iterate over the whole cycle size 33 times and the total sum increment will be 33 into the last element prefix sum, like back of this array, and then I will iterate over, because I can go also this one more time. So starting at the starting position, I can go 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, it's up to me. Okay, so I will check that what is the maximum among all the leftovers after these steps. Or there can also be one more case in which I don't go up to 33 cases, but I will only go up to 32 cycles. So if I go up to 32 cycles, I have one cycle left. If I have one cycle left, which means I can go over the whole array. In this, I have restriction that I can only go up to like one step. If I go up to one step, then I cannot reach to the last step. If there is a whole cycle left along with me, if I have one whole cycle left, then I can reach any number now, because like the prefix sum will tell us starting from this position, and this is the cycle. Then if I iterate over this whole cycle, my prefix sum will be -1. So if I take this 3, which means that I start from the starting point and I only jump by one position. If I jump by 2 position, if I jump by 3 position, but if I have these jumps, then only I can jump. Now if the remainder is 1, I can only jump up to 1. But I have neglected those cases which are in which I can jump over 2 cases or 3 cases. So how we can do that? I will decrement my cycle, and then if I decrement my cycle, I have one more complete cycle. One complete cycle means that I can iterate over all the possible cases, and that's what we want. I can iterate over all the possible cases now. So that's what we can also do. I can subtract my cycle by 1, and then I have the whole complete cycle left, and I can check among all the possible prefix, like all the prefix sum which array which we have maintained, what is the maximum among them, and then we can just find out what is the maximum among them, and that's the answer. All the maximum among all the cases which are discussed is the global answer, which is the final maximum answer. I hope you understand the logic now. If you still have any doubts, like you can rewind this video and rewatch it. I will move down to the code to make it even more clear. So let's start with the code. So take the input of n and k, and then what we have done, we have subtracted this ai by -1 because I have to made it with 0 indexing, and then I have taken the input of b also. Now answer is the global answer. This is the global answer. I have initialized it with a very less number. Okay. Now what we will do, for every iteration, for every number starting point from 0 till n, every starting point, we will make a visited array, and we want to find out the cycle first. So what we will do, we will find out the cycle with using this function, dfs function, which I will call this dfs function. And what we will do, because we have memsetted our visited array to false, which means that it is like 0 null at the start, we will check that it is visited, the starting point is visited, no. So what we'll do, we will make it visited and then iterate over the next position till we reach the same position, because we will going in a cycle. And at every position, what we will do, this total cycle will store the total cycle sum, prefix sum. Okay, so it is initialized with 0, and then what we'll do, we will add b of u. B of u is the, because we are at the uth position. Okay, we will go from u till v. For the every uth position, we will increment our total cycle, which is a total prefix sum, by this position, and we'll push the prefix sum in this track.
The Bible has been translated into
this track actually stores the cycle. So we will push the prefix sum in this track actually store the prefix sum, and then we will continue doing this until we hit or complete our cycle. Okay, so now this track will store the complete cycle starting at this position, which is actually the prefix sum. Now there are two cases which I mentioned. The first case can be if track dot back stores the last position, the total sum of the whole cycle. If this is greater than 0, which means it is greater than 0, it is like the total sum of the cycle is greater than 0, and the k means what is the number of hops I can do, is greater than the track size, which means there is at least one cycle. If both of these conditions are true, which means I have at least one cycle and the last point is greater than 0, which means that iterating over the whole cycle will have some benefit for us, because there is at least 5 cycles I can iterate, and the total size or total increment by the whole cycle is positive. Then it is beneficial to iterate over the whole cycle. Else what I can do, I can iterate over just the k positions or the track size and then find out the maximum among them. Okay, else what can I do here is I will find out the total number of cycles I have. Cycles I can easily find out the k divided by track size, and the leftovers, like after that cycle how many leftovers I have, which I have told you. There are, like, this is the cycle, like if this is the k, then how many cycles I have, 33, and how many leftovers, it is 1. Okay, then I find out the left and the cycles, and again I initialize maxi. This is another maximum, like apart from the global, this is some another maximum. And then I have two cases which I have told you. I can do iterate over all the cycles and then the leftovers. So this is the case in which I have iterate over the leftovers only. So the leftovers is like how many modulus are remaining. So I will iterate over from 0 till the left, how many leftovers are there, and find out the maximum among all those leftovers, and the answer is the maximum among the global answer. And if we take all the cycles and multiply it with track dot back is the prefix sum for the whole cycle, because I have taken down this number of cycles. So cycles into track dot back plus maxi. Maximum is the maximum among all the leftovers. Else, if this condition is not true, I have told that I will take one less cycle in which I will iterate over the whole track. As you can see, this is the for loop over the whole track. In this I have only iterated over the leftovers, but in this I have iterated over the whole track and find out the maximum among the whole track. And after iterating over the whole track, answer is just the maximum among itself, and cycle minus 1. I have like decreasement one cycle because I have used one cycle here. So cycle minus 1 into like track dot back, which is the prefix sum of the whole cycle plus the maximum among the whole cycle, and we will final answer. And after doing this whole, I will clear my track. Track stores the cycle prefix sum for the particular starting point, but now for the next position I have to again mem set the visited to 0 and make the new track. I have to like new track prefix sum, and then I will again clear it out, and so on for all the tracks. And then answer is the maximum among all the possible cases which I have discussed. I hope you understand the logic as well as the code. If you still have any doubts or problem, please mention in the comment box. Thank you for watching this video, and if you do like these videos, please hit the subscribe button and like to my channel. I'll see you in the next one. Keep coding. Bye.